Have you ever thought that there's more to healing than just fixing the symptoms? That maybe there's something deeper, and maybe that deeper thing is actually asking for your attention? So, in yogic philosophy, there's kind of a map for that, and it's called the koshas or the sheaths. Let's describe them as 5 different layers of the self. So, today I'm going to walk you through those, what they are, and how they relate to your physical, emotional, and mental well being, and how you can work with them in your day to day life. So, let's dive in. My name is Dr. Jessica, and I'm a naturopathic doctor, and welcome if you are new. And I help people with their healing journey bring in aspects of mind, body, and spirit, which I think is a connection that we're missing. So what is a kosha? Well, in yogic philosophy, the koshas are sheaths or different layers to ourself. So we have starting from, let's call it the gross, but not like gross like ill, but like gross like more crude versus more subtle. If you've ever heard the terms like etheric body or emotional body or causal body, these are very similar. So in this way, we go from the physical body, which is Annamaya kosha. So this is your muscles, this is your skin and bones, this is, what we eat and everything that we bring into our body physically. Most of us just kind of live in this aspect, right? We only think about ourselves as just being a walking meat suit, I like to call it. We support this with our nutrition, with our exercise, with, our movement. And a lot of times this is where we often realize where something is wrong because we feel pain. So next layer, kind of working out, becoming more subtle, would be pranamaya kosha. So this is often what we refer to as the energy body. If you are familiar with yoga or TCM, in Chinese medicine, we call it like our chi. This is our energy surrounding us. It's the vital life force that runs through us that innervates our body. In yogic philosophy, we call this prana. It's kind of that substance that makes up life. It's that vital self or that energy body. We often work with this layer through our breath. Especially with yoga, there's all types of what we call pranayama or breathing techniques that help to energize this layer or help to fortify this layer or help to clear this layer. This is where we're often working with different chakras and also with the nervous system. In TCM, because I am also an acupuncturist, this is where we're working to remove blockages to help the chi flow freely. Even though these words may sound a little tricky, you do probably already have references to them and how to work with them. So moving on, we have the manomaya kosha or the mental body. This is kind of the layer in which all our thoughts kind of come and go. These are the mental stories we tell ourselves over and over again. These are the thoughts that replay. So sometimes if you're overthinking, over worrying, you're playing thoughts on a loop all the time, or your thoughts are always negative, this may be an area that we need to work with. Then we come to the next layer, which is the vijnanamaya kosha. Now, this is what we would kind of call the psychic body. This is where we start to work with our intuition. This is where we start to, have you ever had a gut feeling and you've had no idea why, but you just had a feeling about something? This is this layer that we're working with. This is when we tap into this or are able to tune into this. This is where we start to follow our higher self. We start to tap into our own inner intuition. This is where we get that discernment and that clarity from in moving through our life. I like to think this is where we're connecting to our higher self when we're tapping into this layer. When we tap into meditation, sometimes we get into those deep layers of meditation, and maybe you had a thought come in or a download come in where you had an idea that you followed through on and it was really good. It worked really well for you. This is working with this layer. And when this is blocked, we don't have connection to that. We don't trust our own inner intuition. And then we have kind of the final layer, the Anandamaya kosha, or the bliss body. This is where, people have experiences oftentimes when they're in deep meditation of just the overwhelming unconditional love. This is what we would call samadhi in different yogic traditions. This is when we're truly connected to what I like to call source, like we're residing in that. And, we get glimpses of it sometimes in our everyday life or sometimes in deep meditation where you just get that overwhelming sense of oneness, wholeness, and love. This is what we're striving for. So how do these layers interact, or how do they work? Well, they interact with each other. It's not just that you work through one layer at a time. No, you could have a thought, so the manomaya kosha pop up, which then triggers a physical response. So we get back to the body. And then our energy gets disrupted. So the pranamaya kosha, our breathing gets affected. And when this happens, maybe we can't connect to our own inner intuition. So it blocks the Vijnanamaya kosha. So there's this interplay that's constantly happening. Remember, I always like to say we're a body, living inside our spirit, having this spiritual experience. So these are all connected. And when we have a disruption in one, it can often trigger a disruption in another. Also, when we clear one, we can also clear blockages from another because it's all interconnected. So this is what I really talk about when I'm talking about mind, body, and spirit medicine, and why I'm so passionate about it, because it's not just physical symptoms that are important. It's connecting all of these pieces and also bringing in spirit into the conversation as well. And I really think that bringing in this type of thinking really does honor the client that's in front of me. It's really, truly mind, body, spirit. So with that in mind, I do have an upcoming workshop where I'm going to go deeper into the koshas, deeper into these layers, deeper into how to work with them, how to remove blockages from them, from the physical to the prana to the mental, all of this, how you can start to identify some of these blockages and how you can work through them. We're going to work with things like breath work. We're going to work with things like meditation. We're going to work with journaling, all to help you kind of connect these pieces. So if you feel like you're having a lot of these symptoms, or you're feeling stuck and you feel like you're doing all the things, maybe it's one of these pieces that you're missing. So if you would like more information on this upcoming workshop, I'm going to leave a link down below where you can register your interest so that when we get started, you'll be the first to know about it. So if you have any questions, as always, leave them down below in the comments. I hope that this was helpful and hope that maybe you learned something new and another piece to kind of help you on your journey. Otherwise, I will see you in the next video. Bye.